work if you're tired.
I need a job. Fucking job! All I know is the thing. It ain't working for me. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired.
Why you show up to work if you're tired?
I need a job.
I'm tired of working, man. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of going to these jobs. It's not even about my particular job. It's not about any job I've had. I'm just tired of the whole job system. I'm tired of this understanding or this belief that we have to go to work 5 to 6 to 7 days a week to barely afford to eat. I mean, who made these rules? Why do we do these things? Who made it to where someone told us, yeah, 40 hours a week or more, you're going to make this amount and you're going to work this difficult till you're about, what, I don't know, 65, and then you're going to retire and maybe barely have a fucking enough to actually survive. And then guess what? In about 2 or 3 years, you're going to die. Or you're going to die before you even fucking hit 65. I digress. I don't know about you all, but I'm tired. I'm sorry, sometimes I get a little emotional. Sometimes you gotta make yourself laugh in the pain. I'm tired, bro. I don't know about you, but I'm tired, man. And at this point, it's just like, dog, it's not even about looking for another job. I'm tired of looking for jobs. I don't even want to put in a job application. I'm tired of Indeed. I'm tired of ZipRecruiter. I'm tired of people scamming you. Oh, we got this job for you, but it's really not a job. It's some job in Malaysia or Asia or somewhere overseas. You don't even speak the language. Man, I'm tired, man. I'm tired. Some people will say, oh, man, that means you're lazy. I don't give a fuck. That makes me lazy? Oh, well. Oh, well.
You know, I am really tired of working. I am. I wake up today and I realize I'm 37 years old. I'm not even 40 yet. And I've already been working for 21, going on 22 years. I'm tired. And it's not that I'm tired of what I do for a living. I'm tired of getting up and having to work for someone else. I'm tired of getting up working, period. It's easy for someone to say, start your own business, blah, blah, blah. Everybody's not an entrepreneur. Everyone doesn't have the same opportunities. Everyone that doesn't have the same drive and desire. Take, for instance, people say, start a business. Things that you personally may be interested in may not be profitable. So essentially, if you start a business, depending on what kind of business, if you just go by the basic old adage of supply and demand. Oh, what do people need? Okay. Well, let me try to supply that. You know, whether it be a products or service. It's essentially just working. Even if you're working for yourself, it's just working. And I think we've been conditioned, the system that we were born into, I think we've been conditioned to just sit up here and accept that you're going to have to work until you die. You know, especially for us millennials, you know, the myth of retirement, that shit's a myth. Most of us are probably going to work till we drop. And unfortunately, a lot of our lifespans are decreasing. So that is literally happening. You know, we're not living as long as other folks have because of the shit they put in our food. All the chemicals we breathe, the chemicals we drink. So not only are we working more and more, working like hell, the shit we consuming is killing us, slow and fast at the same time. I jump on TikTok a lot of times and just share my thoughts. They come out in the form of rants, but it's all real. It's not a joke. It's not a game. It's not for, you know, a lot of people get on here and kind of fake it and don't even be going through what the hell they talking about. They just see a video and then try to vibe off that shit. And it's like, no, I'm living this shit every day. And it's ridiculous.
قول الله يا الله يعوض شمي عشاء بعشم كاكداش So bonus of the pause. That was a good millstone. Peace out, teaching hope for lecture one. And yeah, man, it's really tiring and vexing being in this captivity, man. See, Esau's raising prices all around you due to inflation because the money's not really backed up by anything valuable. And at the same time, it's like you have it to where, you know, Esau is even going as far as even taxing the money that you're making. So it's like you're not even practically making a certain amount. Like the guy was saying from the second video, he was saying that pretty much the money that he's making, you know, for working a certain amount of hours or whatever the case is, it's like, you know, they tell you make this amount. If they're telling you're making a certain amount working these amount of hours, what they forgot to include was taxes. You know what I'm saying? So when you include the taxes now, you know, you got to deduct, you know, a decent amount of money from that. You know what I'm saying? Because the largest chunk of your taxes is going to be state and federal. And then it's going to be like the rest of it's going to be like Medicare and some other shit. You know, it's so wicked. And then even they charge some money out of your benefits, you know, for like employee benefits. That comes up, that's a portion that comes out of your paycheck too. So it's just really wickedness and just a whole bunch of like fraudulent shit that's happening to you know, people that work these 9-to-5 jobs. And who you have mostly doing that is Jake, for the most part. And let's start off with Isaiah 42:21. It says, "The Lord is well pleased for his righteousness' sake. He will magnify the law and make it honorable. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. There are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith, restore." You see, and that's one thing. These other nations, they don't want us to be restored. And they don't want us free. And most particular Esau, he don't want us free himself. You know, he's like another Pharaoh. He doesn't want to let us go. See, he wants to have, you know, a grip over the nation of Israel. He wants us to be a full-on slave to the point where he wants to even chip us with that, you know, microchip. So, and as for that Jake in the first video, man, I felt his, you know, whole spirit when he was crying out that he's just tired of working. And then some idiot was saying, why is he still at work? Well, he's at work because of course, he got to work for the money. You know what I mean? You're not gonna want to go out there doing some illegal shit to try to get some money, and even, you know, committing crimes to even try to make ends meet. He's not trying to do that. He's trying to do it the way, you know, Esau says that you have to do it, which in Esau's, you know, laws, they'll be considered as a legal way of making money. And for the guy in the second video talking about how, you know, jobs nowadays, you know, he's mentioning about like, you know, you got a lot of ghost jobs that are not even real. Some people even try to scam you. Yeah, you know, you see a lot of those ghost jobs mainly on, you know, you see a lot on LinkedIn for the most part. But there's even, you know, that Monster is another, you know, app that has a lot of, you know, jobs that some jobs on Monster could be a scam, and I'm talking about like that, you know, job searching platform. You know, I'll say the best ones to use is Glassdoor, Indeed, ZipRecruiter, and Craigslist. But of course, you know, sometimes you gotta be skeptical with, you know, every job that you see for the most part, but especially on Craigslist, because they're, you know, some people, of course, they post some scams too on there. Remember from what the guy was saying in the video, the second guy, he was saying that how who made who made it to where you have to work for this long, like who really put it into law. Well, one thing a lot of people need to really understand is that the Most High is the one who ordained it to be this way, through Esau, just to show you that Esau, this is considered his tender mercies, which is cruel, ultimately, and, this is the pettiness of Esau. This is how much he hates Jake. And this is the kindness form of him showing his hatred towards our people. This is the kindness form of him doing it. We haven't seen his full wrath yet, so just imagine when he comes down with that great wrath. And going on to say, verse 23, it says, "Who among you will give ear to this, who will hearken and hear for the time to come? Who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the robbers? Did not the Lord, he against whom we have sinned? For they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient unto his law. Therefore he hath poured upon him the fury of his anger and strength of battle, and it hath set him on fire round about. Yet he knew not, and it burned him, yet he laid it not to heart." Right? And you see, the thing is that the reason why these things happen is because the scripture, this precept right here, just shows everything that is to answer for why we are suffering the curses. And mainly Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, that really goes into full depth of what our people, the curses that our people are going to have to go through, for the most part. And this is Micah, the 2nd chapter, verse 10. It says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you even with a sore destruction." So yeah, so that's going into depth of how, shows you that no matter what we do on this side, it's just not your rest, And then it's like, you have to just pretty much mentally depart from this land. Don't have America, the what you call the American dream, it's pretty much an illusion. Don't have that to be the number one thing that you're thinking about all the time, like you're going to achieve it. And I mean, if anything, I'll say if you want to try to make ends meet or so, the best thing to do is get into a sales related job and try to sell something that's actually selling. You know what I mean? And try to work your way up through pretty much the company that you're selling products for, because for the most part, when you enter a sales related job, usually the amount of products that you're selling, your income it varies, but you still have a potential of making a lot if you're really good at what you're doing. And there's ways of becoming good at what you're doing. Of course, it's trial and error with it, and of course, it takes time, and all the time that it takes, it depends on you and how serious you are with it. But you pretty much ultimately have to have different avenues of income coming in, different streams, because just working is just not it, especially in today's economy, with the way things is, how expensive things are, and it's just gonna get worse and worse. So yeah, it's really done for this place. You can see the last guy in that video, he was mentioning about how he's been working for over 20 years. Yeah. And then it's you work for all these amount of years and you're still in the same situation. See? And these are usually jobs that people work in for a salary. And this is Matthew chapter 11, verse 28. It says, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." Yeah, you see, because one good thing that makes the Lord's works easy is the fact that, like, it may be hard trying to maintain, but it's usually harder when you're in the world, especially when you're feeling like the pressure of the world against you. That's when you know that coming to this truth ain't really too hard after all. Don't get me wrong, it is hard to fight the battle in general, but ultimately it's like shit. From the way I look at it as it's harder being in the world, having to deal with all this bullshit that you gotta consistently deal with. Because things is financially tough. Life ain't as easy as it once, I guess, was like a couple years back, when America was at its glory years. You see, people gotta work so hard, gotta work 2 jobs and shit. You even have people that are making 6 figures with a family, that they're able to apply for FAFSA now, and it's really just insane that people have let the government get away with this shit for so long and just letting them get this far. And I'm surprised people haven't even fought back or did something to revolt. You see? That's the fucked up thing about it, is that, scriptures really go in deep about how Esau is an oppressor. You see, and this is the Hegelian dialect where, you got oppression from above and oppression beneath, It's pretty much a thing where the ones on top are just sending all the hell, they're raising the hell for those that's on the bottom, those that's actually struggling, when you serve the Lord, you will find that your mind is at ease because you already know what to expect. People in this world, they don't know what to really expect, so that's why they find that serving the Lord might be a difficult thing ultimately, because they got to change certain ways that they have in the world, and at the same time it's like there's just certain requirements, but it's like whatever you're going through in the world, it's not really an easy thing nowadays, because it's like that burden that you're carrying being in the world is just overbearing at this point. Esau overworking you, and even if you get unemployment after he lays you off, you're gonna have to cut some liabilities off because they're only giving you a certain amount of money. They ain't giving you a decent amount that you once was getting when you was working. So they're doing some funny shit right there. This is Proverbs 28 verse 15. It says, as a roaring lion and a raging bear, so is a wicked ruler over the poor people. So that's pretty much what Esau would be over the nation of Israel, in the sense, because our people would be considered, of course, as poor, and Esau, he's just one of those wicked rulers that's just going as far as stressing our people to the point where you got Jake on social media pretty much venting about how the society is just robbing them, basically just taking advantage of them financially, and you can't even really hardly spend a lot of time with your family, and then it's like you hardly making anything. So it's a whole bunch of nonsense, man. Shit, Jake ain't the only one. You got Joe Sixpack Edomites, they even struggling too. They're going as far as trying to figure how they're gonna get out of a predicament that the elites put them in, which that predicament will be them being in the same situation as us, as so-called Black Hispanic Native Americans. You got Esau trying to go as far as what you call it, like the low-level Edomites. They gotta work like a dog. You know, they're not getting the benefits that they once were entitled to. And, you know, they're struggling like all hell too. You see? Some of them going through it, almost feeling like they're no different than so-called black Hispanic Native Americans. So yeah. But, you know, scriptures tell you that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, so this is what you have to expect when you're seeing a wicked ass ruler. You see? The things he does is completely contrary to the things that he says. And this is the way of Esau for you. So yeah, with that, end the lesson there. I'd like to say, Yasharahla, Yahweh, Yasharahla, Kakadash, to Allah, and to the Apostle, Elsewhere, most on peace, citation, 4 lakh, Shalom.